Okay, it was definitely before my birthday because we disconnected. So it was like March of 2010.
What the fuck are you wearing?
Cool.
And in March, actually, our first date was on March 11th. Welcome aboard. How about a beer? I got a beers in the refrigerator.
Got beers for me?
Do you mind if I
Yeah.
have a quick beer
Yeah.
with you, Bill?
No,
I'm
go-
Evan. I'm John's good
Oh, yeah.
friend. I'm a
Nice to
musician.
meet
I
you.
met you tonight.
Okay, yeah.
You're wearing
Bill, I've
handsome.
been neglecting
Thank you.
you.
Make sure to
You're
get the
wearing
ones that are
saxophone
cold.
songs.
I'm wearing the
You had-
freaking free
You had fucking
stuff I get
saxophone
from the
socks.
Middle
You
Institute.
had saxophone socks on though.
You get
Oh yeah,
there.
okay, that was
That
right.
was
but
me who said hi to you.
Okay, by the way, but then I got a freaking wave on top of me, and I
Oh, you
had
got
to
it?
wash
You
all
got
my
it good?
fucking socks
I
off.
saw you down there getting all those tourists.
But that was pretty good. I lost my red speaker, but it was only $45. But so, okay, so the paradigm is this. I bought the world in 2005. Bought
Bought the what?
the world. You bought the world.
and then I gave
Listen.
it back to the people.
No, listen.
I
Thanks for
figured
the
out
beer,
in 6
Phil.
days how to buy the world.
Okay.
And then I started buying the world on the enterprises. Nobody got back to me. And so then I said, fuck this. I can create like a paradigm of paradoxes. I sent an email to Arnold, who was in the movies.
Yeah.
Right? And so I
2005.
was writing a movie and I was writing a reality. And I said, listen, I'm going to buy California for 1.5 times its worthless worth of 500 billion minus.
Right.
Or 999
Whatever
years
debt
of
it's
justice
in.
and peace on earth.
Okay.
And he should have calculated the calcs. Why? Because, well, the thing is, I told him my board of angels, the 10 business bulls with Alan Greenspan in charge and the 7 political heads with only one name.
Right.
And the only political head I named was Hu Jintao.
Right.
That told him I was a freaking communist capitalist.
Really?
I told him, yeah, okay, because that's the thing. I told him later on that my fictional Bibles was FountIAnHEAD and Atlas Shrugged. Because before I turned a capitalist, I was communist.
Mm-hmm.
I was better red than dead, better red than dead, dead than red, whatever it was.
Right.
I like Mao, let 1,000 flowers bloom.
Right.
Except, but he went cultural revolution on every fucking bar.
Yeah, he did.
And so, like, everybody's right and everybody's wrong. But communism, I was a Marxist. But see, Marxism doesn't work. See, Marxism doesn't work without capitalism. And capitalism and Marxism doesn't work without God. So it took me 11 days to fucking lock and load you guys, buy you out, and then all of a sudden, in that freaking email, it was like a David against a Goliath. It was like, in that email, I wiped out fucking Spielberg and Cameraman and Jobs and freaking, and all the freaking breast minds of the planet, because the ones I didn't hit were hit later, because the angels were topped. And it was like, I sent it to the White House. I sent it to Motorola, because I sent them the freaking thing. Here's the prodigal
Fantastic.
son returning. 19 years later, he says, fuck you guys, you're stupid. I'm buying you out 5 times. And I went to Apple, who was like worshipping at the altar of freaking Motorola's chips. And I said 5 times. And Oracle, 5 times. Larry Ellison helped me get my 4 million. I didn't even need that to freaking buy a vote. But what was in
Fantastic.
my head, it was like, here's the thing, is you come along and you say, okay, I have a way to take our world and advance the pace of technology by like 20 times minimum.
Right.
Like, okay, 19's all encoded in the freaking Quran and all over the place.
Right.
And I invented the next 3 things beyond 16, which is your last next big things. And I decoded them all back down to 0. And so,
Fantastic.
and I know it's crazy, but anyway, so, but it all didn't come at once. But the thing it came at once is like, put them at the freaking round table.
Yeah.
Buy it all, put it all together.
Exactly.
And put my fucking head together with it, because what I was writing in my head was so far advanced in fucking what you could do in Star Trek, but it was right there in your sand and your software. If you got the fucking engineers out of the way
Right.
and put my mind to their mind
Yeah,
and
it's
put
true.
me with Steve Jobs, and that was the thing. It was like, and I knew if you like you have Steve Jobs in charge of Motorola. That's why Motorola's bullshit. Steve Jobs was 50 billion at the time. I did the calcs. Motorola was overpriced at 150 billion because they had a freaking camera. I mean, the freaking razor. I burned a tower of them in July.
You
I
did?
literally burned them. I got the freaking fire department came there.
That's
I went naked to
fantastic.
another house. I burned this tower razors. You know
That's
why?
fantastic.
I was 50 going 51. And 51 is the 51st name of Allah. Al-Haq 51 and the Haqqa. The truth, and the reality shall set you free. And guess what? I looked at this freaking razor. It was a flip phone with a little clock on the outside. That was cool. But guess what?
What?
I couldn't fucking reach the clock.
Ah.
They had a massive display and a little fucking clock. I said locked and loaded. These fucking guys are stupid. Why aren't they? I was writing software in the smallest displays that Motorola ever had before they had freaking really small displays for data.
Wow.
The freaking IBM salesman guys, they had to come to me because, see, the fucking computer guys would try to take a big screen thing and say like that, move around the screen, like that's gonna make sense. I said, no, take the data, format it for the freaking screen that you have. But then I freaking figured out the screens.
Right.
How did I figure out the screens? I measured out the screens. I bought the big screens. I bought the little screens. I bought the freaking iPhones and hanged them in the moral bays and gave them away in Disneyland.
Cool.
But here's the thing. I figured out the screen. Originally, when I was blowing up the world, I imagined nano screens that just sort of popped up out of freaking vapor space. And we could maybe still do that. But anyway, it was really simple technology. And it's no more than you had. But way back in 2005, I invented iPhones in the fucking eye before Steve Jobs had even freaking had his iPhone.
Right.
And with these iPhones, I basically put freaking 3D in your eyes, and it's cheaper than a phone because there's not much inches of freaking LCD, LED, whatever.
Sure.
And then we put GoPro 360s around it, sound in your ear and sound outside if we want.
Right.
And then we freaking connect it to the
Bill,
freaking mind.
what does
And then
this
guess what?
mean?
The iPhone is free.
Bill, what does this
It's your
mean?
free ticket to ride everybody on the planet. I give them away
Bill.
for $7 billion, and we own the planet $1 down.
Bill, we're gonna
And-
own the planet. What does
Right.
this mean? What does
Okay,
that
so it used to have the Star of David on top. It broke off, but this was when I met my girl. I met her in the Palazzo, and there was this cross. I paid 17,000, and then I have them built this one with the original star. The star's missing right now.
So we have 2 stars.
But anyway, so
You
what
paid
this means?
17,000 for that?
Yes, but it didn't matter. Price
Why?
is no object. I threw money away. I was throwing cash away on Vegas. You know, like in front of the Caesar's Palace.
That's so cool.
Throwing it away. Because it's like they have cameras, right? And I like cancel money on the earth.
Wow.
And when I cancel money on the
That's
earth, it's actually
fantastic.
priceless.
That's
That is where.
fantastic.
But here's the thing.
That's
This
true.
is the
That's a great-
risen tea. This is when we stand up to man, to the cosmos,
Well, I
right?
love you, man.
This was the cross, but this is the risen tea. By the way, you got your iPhones and bullshit? Okay, I created the freaking brand. And my brands are brands.
Your brands
See,
are what? What's
here's
your
my
brand?
brand.
What's your
I
brand?
got twofold brands.
What's your brand?
Your reality, your fucked up reality, I pound. I pound your reality, I pound it. And guess what? My future I've invented. I was the King Arthur, the future of Earth. You create a better plan to buy the world and save it, I'll buy it. Anyway, I call it I star. I star everything. I star you. I star them. I star everybody. I put you all in the fucking
I like you,
movies.
Bill.
Gave
I
you
like
fucking eternal life.
Bill.
Anyway, sorry to talk to
I
you.
like you, man.
I
Bill.
You're so
appreciate
cool.
that.
Bill, I love you, man.
I know.
Thank you for sharing with us today.
No,
Yeah, you're
problem.
so cool.
Man.
I
Hey,
wanted to meet you. I met
hey,
you
can I
earlier.
smoke
and
one of your
wanted to talk.
cigarettes?
No, I'm glad you are.
Can we smoke one of your
Please.
cigarettes?
I was just
You wanna
going to have
smoke-
one.
Have a puff with me?
Oh,
Yeah,
let's smoke
absolutely.
that one.
Let's have,
Absolutely.
I'll have a puff of this. Is that cool?
Absolutely. No, that's absolutely.
Bill, I
actually,
love
see,
you,
I was
man.
almost ready to do it. I mean, actually, I was getting ready to tell it.
Can I
Yeah,
smoke
what
in
is
here?
this all about?
Can I
Why
smoke
are we
in
on
here?
camera?
Okay, God, I got videos
Where's
going
the
on everywhere.
girls? I don't see no naked girls.
Okay, I don't do the naked girls right now.
Oh,
Why don't I
God.
do the naked girls right now?
Because I'm not
Because,
naked.
okay, I play the naked girls sometimes because that's your fucking, I pound it. Right? You're fucking I pound. I am the
I'm smoking,
Prophet
right?
Muhammad. Right? I am the
What is
second
that?
coming of
Go ahead.
Jesus. I'm the second coming of the Brahma. I'm the second coming of Buddha. I'm the second coming of freaking all the guys. Everybody you
Is
know.
that my
I'm
beard?
actually the second coming of your dark angels. I'm the second coming of Hitler with a freaking better, smarter plan. But it's like, imagine the second coming of, actually this gets weird. I'm the second coming of you. That gets really freaking, that is like, I'm the reflection of reflections. That's my plan. But see, the thing is, imagine you bought the world in your head, which I did in my reality.
In your
like-
reality.
But my reality was your reality
In
when I bought
Bill's
the world.
reality, he built-
Because
he bought
I
the
sent
world,
the email.
and he-
Nobody can claim the email of reality. See, I knew as start as I marked you with emails that anybody could write the story. Nobody could write the reality. and that I could create a freaking fantasy reality story that people would start wanting to go with, even as a reality maybe. But as a freaking Hollywood story, I knew in the fucking beginning it was a trillion.
Okay, so let me ask you something. You bought this in 2006, and Arnold Schwarzenegger and Bill Gates. But what about now?
5.
What are you doing now?
5.
But what about now? The past is the past. What are you doing now?
I'm surrounding them. I'm holding worldwide elections.
Cool.
You know what the day is of Cinco de Mayo? It's 0505.
Right.
2015. There's
I see what you're
3
doing,
05s in there, and a 1 and a 2. Stand up to command to the cosmos and into the age of light. Because, see, in 2005, when I stepped back from my grandiose plan and took a little plan to buy the world, I had it locked and loaded. I invented internet capitalism and
But they didn't buy it.
No, because my guys went away, but they told me a couple lessons. First lesson was, we can take all our computers, and I knew when I bought the CIA, they'd be watching me with the best 3D in Spielberg and the CIA from the beginning. So it was like, and that was what made me go crazy, because I was figuring they were watching me burn. You could have another one for this.
No,
Okay. They were watching me burn the Tower razors. They were watching me chant like an Indian. They were watching me go crazy, and I did go crazy.
You
Anyway,
are crazy.
But anyway, so.
You're fine. You're normal to me.
No, I've strung out the streets.
yeah.
I strung. You know what the 3 questions I asked when the second time we went crazy? Here's the 3 questions I asked the shrink. What would it be worth to prove the existence of God? Do you know what he said?
What?
He nodded. That's what shrinks do.
Right.
I said, what if I was playing 40 moves in advance of the world based on insider information of unworldly proportions, which you could also read as dimensions, but at the time...
I was just going to say, the insider information you have isn't from people, it's from outside sources.
No, it's me.
It's from
I was playing I was
the
front-running my own plan.
What's the third?
Because I was buying California. Because, see, I could move the freaking world to California. And I married Mecca. I created Mecca in the Salton Sea. And created the new technology universe there, and multiplexed it to freaking Israel, and then saved Israel with Mecca in the Salton Sea and turned it fresh into the place. So I moved San Francisco down there, but I bought all of California too.
What's the third question you asked them?
Okay,
That's
so
right.
what if I had 999 years of justice and peace on earth?
Cool.
Okay, and so... You know what? Actually, no. I said, what would be the value of that?
And he nodded.
He nodded. Now, the last question I asked a couple of years later.
You need a better shrink, I think.
No. Okay, he canceled me for whatever reason.
Right.
But by the way, it's like all these guys were all freaking actors in the Spielberg cameraman story. They've been driving me nuts. Anyway, and I've been driving myself nuts. But anyway, that's been worked out because all the lines are good. They're great log lines. So when I walk out from him, I'm standing outside the door of Andrew Elliott in Palm Springs. A gay guy came down from Seattle, which is where I came down from. Anyway, so I asked him this following question. What if we owned our world together? This time he answered, if we owned our world, I just asked him the question, what if we owned our world together? Okay, this time he answered. It wasn't a nod. He gave a diagnosis.
All the people.
By the way, this is the same guy that diagnosed me when he said you're bipolar after those 3 questions. I said I never get depressed, and I canceled suicide out at freaking 16, 17, and I've gone back to the fucking DSM guys and say you fucks because I can't be bipolar if I've only unipolar. You don't even have a category for a maniac that's just radioactive
don't
and
let
maniac.
the scientists call you anything. You are who you are.
Anyway, so you know what he answered to that?
What?
I think you're borderline psychotic. And I knew I shrunk out the shrinks. Because think about this, if you're thinking of that, because if you're thinking about this freaking guy, like all of a sudden he's saying I'm psychotic, and if that's the perfect question, which I thought it was, at least a question we should ponder, then those fucking shrinks have no business shrinking people's minds, right? They have no business being in charge of your mind if that question is psychotic.
If they can't fucking figure out what you're talking about.
Right. If they think that question is psychotic, they have no standard,
They
right?
have no standard.
Right.
No.
That's true.
I get
And they had no standard in the first place. But that's even the point entirely. And I'm not saying that we don't have crazy people, but like, actually, what I'm saying is what I realized when I first started. They thought they put me in mind jail. Then they said stop reading. And then the other lady didn't get right. Okay, then I went for a second opinion, and this Barbara Darling lady, I say, listen, I'm gonna spend $250,000 a pocket change of mine because I had over $1 million, and I said I'm gonna spend it and build $100 billion Google like really fast overnight, and that was like my minimum plan under the promise of overperform. And she's like, gives me a bag of Zyprexa and samples Zyprexa. And I come back to, and she doesn't give me a diagnosis, right? And so I come back to her and say, this stuff is slowing my mind. I got a freaking really big company to build. And she gives me another little bag. And then eventually I gave up on her opinion, right? Because she's just giving me drugs and no opinion. And why is that crazy? Larry Ellison freaking spent $250,000 and built billions and billions of dollars. And I had a plan that's better than fucking Google's. Because I freaking had God on my side. I could fucking wipe him out with fucking God. I didn't use that card. You knew that was my back pocket card. Right. I knew that was my brand. I knew that. I had that freaking brand in my pocket. Yeah, I know. If anybody's gonna freaking let the meek inherit the earth, they can pretty much account for some pretty good guys on their side. But I called the angels in. See, that's the thing. Angel capital. And all the dead guys, all the freaking foundations of dead guys. I owned them as soon as I gave them a better plan and say Bill Gates is in charge of all the fucking charity of the planet. And then he got Warren Buffett and other people because they only want to give the money away. And guess what? If they could be founding fathers of the future of Earth, that's the opportunity I gave them. They with the board. I selected these guys and made them the founding fathers of future of Earth and said, will they remember your name in 1,000 years? And I already clocked them out. They don't get out of the century alive. Yeah. And so it's like I gave them an offer you cannot refuse. I had it in my stories. You can't get out alive. Look at my stories. They took all my stories were written in Microsoft. I haven't gone back. I went to the Bible codes in Microsoft. I haven't gone back. I saw God encoded, God in truth. And then I went freaking crazy. If I went back and looked for my name instead of the freaking Jack I was trying to make up, I could have freaking seen my name all over it. You know why?
What?
My name is Hen. It's like chicken in German. And I was born in the city of angels.